all we now have to do is make sure that we return a response with that new list item that should be added to this list here. And to create such a list item, we can use this render location function, which is provided by that location.js file, which produces such a list item. And we'll have to make sure that we then send different requests depending on where the item is rendered, but for the moment we can ignore that. So in app.js, down here in the post route, where I send back a response, I can send back a list item by calling render location. And then render location needs such a location object, which I conveniently have here though. I extracted it by its ID from the available locations array. So therefore it's this location which I can pass to render location, and with that, this post route will return such a list item. And with that back in our HTML code, we can make sure that the response of this request is then rendered in the right place on this page. And the right place to render it is, of course, this interesting places list here, this interesting locations list, I should say. Conveniently, this list has an ID of interesting locations, so we can use that to target this list. And therefore here in location.js, we can set the hx target to hashtag interesting locations, and then make sure that the list item that's received in the response of this post request is added to the end of this list by adding hx swap and setting this to before end. We could actually also set it to after begin here as an alternative and to mix things up to make sure that it's added at the beginning of this list. But here I'll use before end to add it at the end. Well, and with all that done, if you save everything and you have that development server up and running, if you reload your app and you click on an item, it should be added here. Now at the moment, if you then click it again, it's added again, because we have the same attributes on that button in that list item, no matter where it's being rendered. So we'll have to fix that. But the general functionality is there, as you can tell, and that's great.